Luffy once said he wants 10 people on his crew, right? And I've seen a lot of people say that he's counting himself in this number, which would mean that currently he has his full crew that he's always wanted. But it seems that that comment about having 10 members wasn't including Luffy, which means that there could be one more Straw Hat. As I've said before, I think there's some pretty good candidates for this. Bonnie being a really good one in my opinion. Not only was she originally supposed to wear a straw hat, but she meshes incredibly well with them. Not to mention the connections that she has to Nika, she fits really well. And I think it would be a cool parallel to Roger's crew if there was a child's presence on the Straw Hats too. But I can also see her becoming a revolutionary and following in her mother and father's footsteps. That would make perfect sense. But then there's Vivi, and I feel like Vivi has a high chance of coming along the Sunny. That's how I'm going to describe it because it's super controversial to say that she isn't already a Straw Hat, so I'm going to get into Elbaf spoilers right now. Scroll away if you don't want to be spoiled. Using her affiliation with Morgan's, she was able to basically call the Straw Hats and say, I need help. Or at least that's what I'm getting from this. We'll have to see how the Straw Hats who are at Alabasta react to this newspaper. She's on the run from the world government. It would only make sense if she wants protection from her old friends. Contrary to Yamato's situation, where Yamato just wants to protect their country. Maybe Yamato will end up becoming their crewmate though. But then we got Loki, and I understand he is way too big to fit on the Sunny. But there are definitely means in the One Piece world to allow him to fit there. I mean, we got introduced to this owl who could change the size of things in the same arc that Loki was introduced in. Or I should say, the same arc where Loki was fully revealed. Now, Loki has absolutely no plans on becoming Luffy's underling. But this is how a lot of the Straw Hats originally reacted to Luffy's proposal. And Luffy and Loki are very similar to one another. So I feel like once Luffy earns more of his respect, he'll actually consider this offer. I should have said this earlier, but I feel like some people believe that if a panel is old enough, it doesn't apply to the current part of the story. If the information is inconsistent, of course, that would be the case, but there's no evidence of a retcon here. One Piece panels don't have expiration dates. Some of the earliest panels in One Piece are very significant. This right here is the first use of Iaido in the story. That's pretty important.